starting from the basics. Okay, what I feel is very important in any particular passage, in any particular RC passage, is to remember what you're trying to understand, right? So one of the basic pointers becomes memory or retention. Oftentimes happen that while you are reading, and this is not just for any passage in English, but also something which you can apply in critical reasoning or like various other sections as well, not maths of course, but other sections. All right, so when you're talking about memory or retention, I feel it's oftentimes a problem that when you start reading a passage and when you come to the end of it, basically when you're done with the passage, when you're done with the last word, what you all of a sudden realize is that, wait, I went through the passage, I've gone through all the things, but I don't exactly remember what but I don't exactly remember what it was like, or but I don't exactly remember what it was about. So there are certain things that you need to remember there, right? And what is it that would help you in answering the questions then? Cool. Firstly, try to make mental flowcharts, right? It's very important for you to grasp the idea of any particular passage. And how do you do that? You do that by starting to make certain flowcharts in your own mind. Okay. Now the problem is when you're starting out doing most of the passages in this particular way or this particular, like, let's call it a format. Okay, this is the format we're going to follow. Okay, I am going to try making certain flowcharts. The thing is, it doesn't come naturally to you, right? The very the basic idea that all of us have is to directly go to mostly the idea that we're familiar with is to directly go for a novel or a story and start reading through it, right? And the things overcome by and by. But the problem is that is not how exactly you're going to solve this particular passage, since you are expected to remember certain parts of it which are needed to answer certain questions. So you need to start making mental flowcharts. And if you're not familiar with the idea, like I said, if you're not familiar with the ideas from the starting, try writing it down on the paper, right? So after each paragraph, or let's make it what I mean when I say gist or summary. After each particular paragraph, try to in the very beginning, try to make certain small notes of what you felt that paragraph was about. Now I know this is going to be time taking, but that is really going to help you in the longer run. Why? Because once you start doing it in certain passages while you're practicing, that is something that is going to naturally come to you later on, right? So once you start making very, very, very small notes, or I know that becomes very tiresome, and I know that you have very small time limit, right? So what we are trying to do is to convert this manual process into a mental one. You start off by making very small flowcharts in your mind, or let's say you can even make a very small flowchart in right on your paper. So you take a rough paper, which you will obviously be provided, and you start writing out listing out the very important points. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was followed by this. This was added these were the contentions. These were the advances that were given by if it's an argumentative passage, or this is what happened after that particular event in a narrative passage. So that's how you're going to do it, right? And finally, you're trying to make it into a mental process. So how do you do that? Once you've done this in, let's say, in a number of passages, in obviously I would keep on repeating this, so I hope you get used to the idea. But practice is genuinely the key to all the any sort of questions here in RCs. So once you've done it for 10, 15, 20 passages, or it varies for the kind of practice you're doing, in 20, 25, 30 passages, the thing is, it would naturally start coming to you what exactly I'm trying to remember after each particular passage, right? So it would naturally come to you that, okay, after this paragraph, this is what I'm going to remember, this is what is important in the passage, right?